So when Dirk was introduced this season, I didn't know which way it was really going to go, especially not only you have Dirk, which is this new baby within the orphanage, which is a whole entire thing within its own, but then you have Mine and her younger brother being born, and you have that kind of storyline, and everything's going to come with that as well. Then we ended last week's episode, after the introduction, we ended last week's episode with Dirk basically getting like the measles or chicken pox. Basically, this ended up being caused by his overabundance of mana. Basically, early signs. How many times can I say basically? At least 9 more times. This is early signs of the devouring, right? So these are the early signs that this kid has the devouring, which we all caught on to pretty early in the episode when Mine's checking him for having a fever, and she can immediately feel like that overabundance, kind of like that mana spilling out of her, kind of like out of a treasure lockbox, much like she did when she had it before. But now, one of the things that I love the most is because me and you, the viewer, as well as Mine, within the anime, we all have a ton of knowledge now when it comes to the devouring. So we aren't all this little girl, this little poor village girl anymore that doesn't know anything about. We're all little poor village girls. We don't know anything about it anymore. We're now completely like, we're almost noble status in a sense, but Mine's almost in that status, and she has complete knowledge of the devouring, knowing what to do, knowing what to handle, where to go, seeking out the head priest, seeking out, advice, seeking out what to do next. And what we landed on essentially this episode is, okay, well, Dirk's gonna need to be adopted. It's kind of a period at the end. He's gonna need to be adopted by a noble. So Mine has to do what's right for her orphanage, for her organization, for her people, for the people that surrounds her, and what's right for the baby. And what she ultimately decided on, because of the good nature of the head priest, which I love Ferdinand. I think he's probably his best boy for sure at this point. But he basically said this, right? Her 2 options are try and seek out a noble that you probably won't find because Dirk's a boy, and obviously boys aren't as coveted as females, because females, they could be used as concubines, as wives. It's just the reality of that time period. The boys, they could be used as attendants, but the likelihood of a noble seeking out an attendant of this nature is very slim. So what do you do after that if you can't find somebody? Well, the next thing is, once Mine is adopted, she can then, because she'll be a noble, she can then adopt Dirk. So once that whole entire thing ends up panning out, then she can then be adopted, or she can then be the adoptee, and adopt Dirk, which she's like, yo, that's awesome. That's exactly what I want to hear. Because then she's going to have the ability to have access to noble equipment and to noble items to be able to combat the devouring. Now, she's also going to be a mama pretty damn early, considering she's not even 10 years old. She's like 7. So she's going to be a mama pretty early, but regardless, this is a plan for her to be able to take care of this new infant and not give him up, as she knows what the opposite side of that whole ordeal is there. So very interesting episode in just all the different things that it explored. And then at the end of the episode, obviously we see Delia kind of blowing up and getting mad because, Mine can't reveal any of these plans. She can't reveal the baby has the devouring. Like, the people who know need to be extremely tight, especially when we got left off on last week when we had the high priest, him conspiring with all those other nobles, and we found out there's a noble searching for somebody with a devouring, which obviously that means Mine, but now that you have this other baby, that could definitely be a problem. So the people who know need to be very, very tight, which really just needs to be Mine and Ferdinand. So we had all these different things that occurred this episode, which is really good. Then we also finally had some emotional moments for Delia. I've never really felt anything for Delia. She's always been a piece of crap to me. But with Dirk and having that responsibility, it's really changed her, right? Even Mine knows, like, I've never seen her smile like she smiled. I've never seen her happy like she's happy. I've never seen her worry like she's worried. And I think we finally have another character. We finally have somebody else in Dirk that can really break the glass or break the wall that Delia had put up. And now we finally have a conduit to get past Delia and for her to really give herself over to mine and stop working with the high priest, right? So I love that it introduced another element into there, and Dirk is kind of like a bargaining chip in a sense, but now he can basically be that in between mine and between Delia, and to finally bring her over to this side, because she keeps hanging on to the high priest for what could be, but what she has right now is something special. Like, even if you look at the orphanage that she was extremely timid and very scared to go into, the orphanage is completely different than how she left it. It's clean, it's proper, they're well fed, they're well staffed. It's not like how she was there when she was there at all. It's completely different. So she could work and thrive and be successful here under the tutelage of mine. So this anime, it continues to be so special. It continues to be very what's the word? Not predictable. It's definitely not predictable. Not precise. It's precise. It's very damn. What's the word? It's right there at the end of my tongue. It's very purposeful. It does everything that it's trying to do on purpose, and everything it does has a purpose. It has something behind it, and that's what makes the anime special. Is like every story beat has purpose and something that's going to come from it. And oh my god, I just love that. I love that. Also, damn well. Should have been Samuel apparently, but the author messed up and now he's Damwell or Daniel. I forgot his name last episode, and the episode before that, this guy's forgettable. But Damwell, damn that Damwell. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys on those thoughts there. Thank you guys for joining me for another week of Ascendance of the Bookworm, my favorite anime of the season. Some of my favorite anime of all time. Love that you guys are here. Make sure you guys throw me a big ol' like before you guys dip out and leave. And I'll see you guys next week for Mine Mondays. All right, my friends. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.